You check the numbers at 11:43 on a Tuesday night in a gas station parking lot. All 6 match, and you sit in the car for 4 minutes and don't make a sound. Not because you're processing the magnitude of $600 million, because you just realized your life is over. Not the broke version of your life, the real one. The one where you knew who your friends were, where the hunger was real, where you woke up every morning with something left to prove. That version of you dies tonight in a gas station parking lot. And the thing that replaces it is something you don't have a name for yet. $600 million. And the plan, from the moment all 6 numbers match, is to never tell a single person. This is what that actually costs. The ticket goes into a sealed envelope inside a shoebox, inside a locked filing cabinet in your apartment. You tell nobody. You go to work the next morning. Your manager gives you feedback about your Q3 reporting format. You nod and take notes. You are making $40,000 a day in a lottery account, and you are taking notes about a spreadsheet column. That is the first thing nobody warns you about. The performance. Not the hiding of the money, the hiding of yourself. Sitting in a cubicle pretending to care about a $50 rent increase or a bad parking spot, while the number sits in an envelope in your apartment, requires more mental energy than actually being broke ever did. When you were broke, the stress was real. Now the stress is a costume you put on every morning and take off every night, and the gap between those 2 versions of yourself gets wider every single week. You start noticing things you didn't notice before. Your phone knows before your family does. You haven't told a single person, haven't made a single purchase, haven't changed a single thing about your visible life, but the ads change. Car insurance disappears. Private jet charter appears. Wealth management services. Offshore banking. Your algorithm has somehow read something in your behavior. The searches, the late-night legal research, the LLC filing questions, and recalibrated your entire digital identity overnight. You spend 20 minutes manually searching for cheap ramen recipes and budget airlines just to confuse it back. Because if anyone glances at your phone and sees what you're being served, the questions start. And the questions are the one thing you are not ready for. 3 weeks after the ticket, you start testing people. Not because you plan to, because you can't help it. The card gets pretended declined at dinner. The people around you reveal themselves in the 12 seconds before someone offers to cover it. One friend laughs and covers it immediately without looking at the total. One friend goes quiet and checks her own balance before offering. Both responses get filed somewhere that didn't exist before the ticket. Not cruelty, cartography. Mapping who people actually are before the number changes what they think they are to you. 4 months after the ticket, you set up the trust. Wyoming, a law firm that has done this before, which you know because they don't seem surprised by anything you tell them. The trust owns a holding company. The holding company will own everything you buy. Your name will not appear on any of it. Her mortgage gets paid through a third-party property management company that sends a letter saying the loan has been acquired and forgiven by an anonymous investor. She calls you that night and, talking about a stranger's kindness, listening to her cry while sitting 5 feet from the trust document that paid it. That's incredible, Mum. Every word of it is true. You are the stranger. Always the stranger in every good thing that reaches them, delivered through names they will never connect to yours. And you understand, sitting there, that this is the price of the thing you chose. Not the taxes, not the legal fees, not the decade of maintaining the performance at the office. The price is being the anonymous source of every good thing that happens to the people you love, and never once getting to be the reason. 3 months before the watch incident, something else starts happening that you don't expect and wouldn't have believed if someone had told you. The insomnia arrives first, not the normal kind, but the hyper-vigilant kind, where your body has decided it is guarding something enormous and cannot fully switch off. Appetite becomes unreliable. Weight comes off in the way it comes off from people who aren't trying to lose it. Rooms get scanned when you walk into them. Not for specific threats, just exits, just sightlines, just an ambient assessment that never fully shuts down. 2 months pass before you understand this is simply what it feels like to be a walking target, who is the only one who knows. 6 months in, you slip. Not a mansion, not a car, a watch. A 1967 Hoya Carrera you had a photo of on your wall at 22 in the apartment, where you ate rice 4 nights a week and told yourself, one day. A childhood friend sees it across a dinner table and goes quiet in a specific way. He remembers the photo. He remembers the apartment. He texts the next morning with one question. 11 minutes to compose a lie about an inheritance from a relative he's never met, delivered with a confidence that is surprising even internally. The watch goes into a drawer. Something becomes clear that night that won't unfeel itself no matter how much time passes. To hold this secret at this scale, you have to become someone who can look a person who loves you in the eyes and lie with a completely straight face. Not once, permanently. Every dinner, every phone call, every birthday where someone asks how things are going and you say fine, and you mean something completely different by fine than you ever did before. The hard part was never going to be managing the money. The hard part is managing the version of yourself that the money requires you to be. It is not depression exactly. It is the specific weight of a person who has run out of things to become. And somewhere in the second year, you have a conversation with yourself that takes about 6 minutes and ends without a resolution. The other hunger is gone. Not the physical kind, the one that used to get you out of bed at 5 a.m. on the days you didn't want to. The one that made rejection feel like information rather than verdict. That hunger was a feature spent years being resented. It turns out it was load-bearing. Without it, mornings feel theoretical. The game is over. Won. And winning, it turns out, is not an emotion. It's an absence of the thing that was pushing forward, now that there's nowhere forward left to go. A year after the ticket, you were at Thanksgiving. Your uncle is giving financial advice about index funds. He has $14,000 in credit card debt, and he learned everything he knows from a podcast, and he is explaining compound interest to a person who made more money this morning than he will make in the next 3 years. You nod. You ask a clarifying question. You protect the empire by pretending you need directions to it. Your cousin asks if you can lend her $5,000 for a medical bill. You look at her. You say you're really tight right now, and you'll see what you can do. You watch her face absorb that. She thanks you for considering it. She doesn't know what tight means now. The bill gets covered anonymously the same night, through the same mechanism used for everything else. She posts about the blessing. The post gets liked. You are 2 years in now, and you understand something about this life that none of the people celebrating lottery winners on television understand. The money did not free you. The money issued you a new set of constraints that are in many ways more total than the ones it replaced. You used to be limited by what you could afford. Now you are limited by what you can reveal. You used to be tired from working. Now you are tired from watching. Rich in a way that looks exactly like being ordinary and feels on the inside like running a very long intelligence operation in which you are the only agent and the only asset and the only thing at risk. The number in the trust is now larger than when you started. Not much has been spent. No clear picture yet of what it's being saved for. Your children, maybe? Though you haven't figured out how to give a child everything without taking away the thing that made you who you are, which was having nothing and needing it to change. Home that night, in the same car, the same spot, The same Sunday meal made in the same apartment where the ticket was found. Sitting alone at a table in a neighborhood where nobody thinks twice, with $600 million that has no idea what to do with any of this either. The ticket is still in the shoebox. You still haven't decided what winning actually is.